So here we are in Parashat Beshalach. This is the last year in the Zohar for this week. And we're going to be looking at the Zohar on page Tov Kuf Tzadi Zion if you have this Sefer. If not, you can read along with me. Let me try to adjust this slightly. Get a little bit better focus if I can. We're coming down here. We're going to read this pasuk, which says like this: Oz Yasher Moshe v'nei Yisrael. Then Moshe and the true children of Israel sang. The Zohar, once it said Rabbi Abba Pasuk V'Amar, he begins with Istakal Nocha B'Bekol Tushbachal D'Shavku Kudsha B'Richu V'Kulim Paschal Ba'az. So Istakalti, he says, I looked into the matter. B'Kol HaTishbachal is what matter? The praises of Hashem. Sheshavku Yisrael HaKodesh Baruch Hu, the Jewish people praised Hashem. Kulin Paschal B'Milas Oz, and all of them began with one word. The word is Oz. So he said, come on, for example, Oz Amar Shlomo, V'chein Oz Yedaber Yehoshua, V'chein Oz Yasher Yitzchak, my time. So what's the reason we have these Oz? Mahatam Shehiskilo Hashira B'Milas Oz. Elohachi Ta'ana Chavechalakach Lamado. Ki kol nisim v'kol gevurim de'isavidu l'chu Yisrael. Kol hanisim, all the miracles, the whole gevuros, all the action of the strong hand, shena'asa dechem the Yisrael, that was made for them, for the Jewish people. Kad is nihir nihira de'chatika kadisha be'itroi. He said, na'asa ka'asher heir orlo she'oro shel Eric Anpin. Now, we talk about this a lot. Because Eric Anpin is the kernel, it's the root of the entire Vitzilus. So therefore we see that when this light shines, which is on a tremendous chesed of the Kodesh Baruch Hu, when that shines, it has a tremendous power to do good. Nasakasher Heir Oso or Oro Shel Eric Anpin, so the light of Eric Anpin shines. Anikra Atika Kadesh is also the word that's used often for Eric Anpin, is the ancient Holy One. Atika Kadesha, Bekoch Atarosav Shehem Glifim Chakukim Lamala Besod Yud Gimel Tikuni Dikna. This takes a lot of understanding to figure out this phrase. So he said, we're talking about Eric Anpin, who's called Atika Kadesha, and from the power of Atarosav, of his crowns, what are the crowns? Shehem Glifim Chakukim Lamala Besod Yud Gimel Oros. Now, the beard of Eric Anpin is a series of like straws that are hollow, or canals or shoots that are hollow on the inside, the beard of Eric Anpin, and contain the light of the Ein Sof Baruch Hu, but each hair has a way of diminishing it. So that the whole idea of Kabbalah and the meaning of the word tikkun really means hismatus of the light. It means limiting the light, because the light of the Ein Sof itself is nothing. It's the power. It has no physicality. So to make words and letters and to make a world, you need physicality. And so these are the concepts of the levushim, which we're talking about in another shir of what we call cold sama, all the different layers. Now, so he says, this takes about these nisim and gevurim. Nisim v'kol gevur she'na'asa them Yisrael. He said, Na'asa ka'asher heir oro shel Eric Anpin, when the light of Eric Anpin is shining, anikra tika kadesha, bekoach, through the power of Atarosav, this his most powerful part. Now, the Ataros is really usually refers to chasadim and gevuros, but I'm not sure how it works here. Bekoach Atarosav, what are the Atarosav? Shem Galifim, which are carved, Chokukim, Lamala Besod Yud Gimel Tikuni Dikna, which are the 13 different levels of the Hismatos, the limitation of the light that flows from the Ein Sof Baruch Hu, which is through Eric Anpin and through the beard of Eric Anpin in our direction. Oz Oros Elo Rishimim Ba'alef. These letters then become implanted, impressed into the letter Aleph. So they're shamim ba'os aleph, so they're impressed in the letter aleph. Shehu sod bina hakolalas is called hagar, which is the secret of bina. Bina is the female aspect, which is a depository of all the lights that come through Keser and Chochmah. They wind up being deposited in Bina. So, which is his phrase, Shuhu Sod Habina. Hakolelis is called Hagar. Gar is, in this case, uh, uh, I guess he's going to say Kochav, Keser, Chochmah, Bina. It's not that clear how he would do that. Va'alef inki b'chashulche. So this aleph then makes an opening, a hole in the darkness. Now what's that? So then he says, it's a little complicated, right? V'or habina. So now you have the light of the Keser Chochmah inside of Bina. V'or habina noke v'korea as toke v'gavuro. So what does it do? It pierces Noke v'koreh and tears as tokef gavuros, this power of the gavuros, shebespheres the zer anpin, which is on the left side of zer anpin, hanikros choshech, and they're called these spheros of gavura are called darkness. The nacher the call aver, and it shines into every different limb. Mirin the call havok the zer anpin, and it shines into the chesed gavura, teferes netzach and hod and yesod of zer anpin. But is chaber the nihiru the aleph umarta the zayin. So he says, if you count their anpin, chesed gevura teferes netzach hod yesod, you have 6 spheros. When you come to the 7th one, which is the letter zayin, so then what happens is that this shefa, which is coming from bina, which has the ability to pierce and to break through the gevuros of Zer Anpin, because Shemizchaver or Shal Aleph Shuhu Habina Amakabelas Haaras Yud Gimel Tikun Dikna Zer Anpin, and his Bina is powerful because it has within it the power, the light of the 13 Tikkunim of the beard of Eric Anpin. Umagia or Zehel Oz Zion, and this light then comes to the letter Zion, which is Malchus. Derek Sphira Shel Zer Anpin, it goes through the Hagat Nai to Zer Anpin, and it ultimately comes to Malchus. Mefarish Man Zion, so he says, what is this number 7? This 7. He said, Mihu Zu HaZayin, Ba'amar Da Cherev LaHashem Maladam. This is the sword of Hashem, Yud Kei Vav Kei, which is full of blood. Zuhi Sod HaMalchus, HaPoel is Din. This is the secret of Malchus. So this is what we are saying, is that number Zion, if you have a Chesed Gevurah Teferes Netzach Hod Yesod, that's 6. Plus Malchus is 7. Malchus number 7. So he says, Zuhi Sod HaMalchus HaPoel is Din, which is actually where the Din comes from. Keden oz he pu'ulas sheni hafkiyim. So then this causes a second action. Avid nisim v'gevuros, which is echad she'osid nisim v'Yisrael, and the second one is oz gevuros base is she'osid gevuros ba'umas ha'olam. He punishes the umas ha'olam. This is the concept of the Aleph and the Zion, which makes Oz. Begin the Ischaber Aleph im Zion, because you're putting it together. The Fishin is Chavra Os Aleph im Os Zion, Sha'ayidei Zecha Kabdach Malchus Koich HaMahabina. So this brings Malchus power, good power, from Bina. V'zechu v'sod HaShira, this is the secret of the song. Ki Shira, so he the call citron. Hashira he the call hatzadadim. What does that mean? Sheyesh ba shvach al hanisim she'asach hakodesh baruch Hu Yisrael. So there's a tremendous praise that's going to be done because of the miracle that Hashem is doing for the Jewish people. V'yesh ba shvach al hanakamos. So there's also a blessing for the nakamos she'asach the umas olam is making for the umas olam. In other words, look what's going on in the world, how nobody's 100% for the Jews. unless they have a very strong Jewish past themselves in some way they're related to us. So now we understand the secret of the word Oz. Why do so many praises come with that? It's the Aleph going into the Zion, which is able to deliver sweetness into these dinim. Change the dinim to the goyim, to go to the people who hate us. Ki al yedei she'os Aleph shehi sod habina. No senes koach el Zion, it brings power to the Zion. Shehi sod ha-malchus, which is the secret of malchus. He yechol lepul pu'uloso, pu'ulosecho. It's able to do what it needs to do. So now it's another thing. A Makasha asks this question. Yashir, the word Oz Yashir. Yashir is in the future sense. Lama Kasav Lashon Asid. Why did he write it in the... He should have said Shar Meboyale. So it says Oz Shar. It shouldn't say Oz Yashir, but it says Oz Shar. Hayitzarek Lomer Shar Belashon Avar. Should have said in the past tense. Alamida da Talia V'ashlim the Zimna de Asi. But he means to say that the song is not finished. Elashira zu Tuluya V'tihiyah Neshalemis the Asi Davo. So it depends, and it will be completed in the future. Oz Yashir, they will sing. So he said the Zim named the Zmi named Yisrael L'Shavcha Shira Sador. He says, Shasidim Yisrael, the Shavach Shira, the Shaveach Shira Zu, the Kodesh Baruch Hu, so to praise this Shira, B'Tachidus Amazim, at the time of the Tachidus Amazim. Kede Isib B'Sechta Sanhedrin, we have over there in Dav Tzadi Aleph on the base, he said, V'zel the Shono Tanya, I'm a Rebbe Meir. Minayim the Hakios Amazim Minatera. Where do we know? We see this from the Torah. So he says, where do we see this from? How do we know? Where is there a raya that the dead will come back to life? Shene'emer Oz Yashir Moshe B'nei Yisrael Es Hashira Azos LaHashem. That's what it means. Then they will sing this song to Hashem. Shar Lo Ne'emar. It doesn't say that they sang. Lo Ne'emar Ela Yashir. They're going to sing. We're going to sing. So Mikan Lahakios Amesim Minatera, and so this is the raya for where we know that the Mesim are going to come back. So then it says the pasuk when Oz Yashir Moshe Uvenei Yisrael, and it writes Moshe Uvenei Yisrael Mikan. B'mashal Amadach Sha'asid Moshe Lukum B'Dekiyas Amesim, that he's going to come back at the time of the Mechiyas Amesim. V'Lashir Shira Hazos, and to sing this song. Ulifna the tzedikaya kadmoi, afal gav de istalako bedargin in loin de laela. What does this mean? Anu lamdim, we learn like this. Shahat tzadikim akadmonim, the original tzadikim. Afal fishin is ala b'medregus elyonos, that even though that they are elevated to upper levels of kedusha, shel ma'ala, Sheba Olam Atzilus, in other words, they can connect themselves to mentally and behavior-wise to the Olam Atzilus. Bind themselves up with the bindings of life, the life force itself. He can translate. So divide himself to the binding of the life force. Shuhu soda malchus shabon nitzararem kol hachaim. This refers to the malchus, and we're always talking here about the template malchus, which is the malchus of Atzilus. So he said, "This kasher bekasher shall sror of a binding, the binding of sror hachaim, shuhu sod hamalchus shabon nitzararem kol hachaim, that all living creatures are bound to malchus." V'yoser tov lechem shelo yardu od la'olam hazeh lehislavish beguf. Now, where is this? Im calls us. So he said, let me say, v'yoser tov, so it's better. Lechem shelo yardu od la'olam, they should not go down into the world hazeh lehislavish beguf, in order to be able to come back into a person's body. Im kol zeh zeminim kuhu lahachyoch begufa. So I guess what he meant to say is, I've had a little trouble understanding that. He says that even though I think he means the force that would bring the Jewish people to Techiyas Amesim, Asidim kulan lahiyos beguf la'asid lavo, but even though that it's against, when you're dead, right? Even though it's against that concept, but they're going to come back anyway. And be able to see that all of the Kedusha and all of the tremendous goodness that the Jewish people were able to do, that Hashem did for the Jewish people. The Ros, Hanisim, to see the miracles, V'hagavuros, and the powerful hand, She'a'azah HaKodesh Baruch Hu, the Yisrael, that Hashem will do for the Jewish people. So you look at the situation we're in right now with the war with Iran and the war with the Hamas and all these different things. And the things that occurs to me is that if you're seeing this, if the Jewish people would behave like the Jewish people, then this wouldn't be happening. But of course, we are a people, we're very diverse. So the Lomema Shirazador, Veloma Shirazu, Hadohu Dechsev, this is what it means. Oz Yasher Moshe V'nei Yisrael, Hainu Acher Techiyas Emeisim. Now, Pirush, okay, we're that's it for today. So because got to a new Indian. So this is Baruch Fleischman. We've been listening to the Zohar on the Parsha of the week. Parshas Beshalach.